Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. You wanted to know more about SEO and brand awareness, and guess what? We did too. So we took a deep dive into it and actually wrote a whole blog post over at Beam Up Digital called The Role of SEO in Building Awareness.
Yeah, that was fun to put together.
It was. So let's unpack what we learned.
It's interesting. We talk a lot about SEO, but it's easy to get caught up in the technical weeds of keywords and rankings. This deep dive helped us step back and remember the bigger picture. SEO is a really powerful tool for shaping how people perceive your brand.
Yeah, it's not just about climbing the Google ladder.
Yes.
It's about creating those aha moments for potential customers
Yeah.
when they stumble across your brand online.
Right. Think about it. You're more likely to choose a product from a company that feels familiar, even if a cheaper option is right next to it on the shelf. That's brand awareness in action.
You're right.
And SEO can play a huge role in building that familiarity and trust.
Okay, so how does SEO build trust? It's not like Google gives out trustworthy badges.
It's more subtle than that. Visibility is a big part of it. When your website consistently pops up in search results for relevant topics, it signals to people that you're a player in your industry. It's like a silent endorsement from Google itself.
Sort of like how we trust a restaurant more if it's packed with people right.
Mm.
We assume they must be doing something right.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just showing up, too. The keywords you target can subtly influence how people perceive your brand. Are using terms that position you as an innovator,
Oh, interesting.
a budget-friendly option, a thought leader. Your SEO strategy can really reinforce those brand attributes.
So it's like using SEO to tell a story about your brand without explicitly saying it.
That's a great way to put it. But what makes this even more fascinating is how content marketing ties into all of this. It's not just about stuffing keywords onto a web page anymore.
Right.
It's about crafting compelling content that showcases your expertise and genuinely resonates with your audience.
And that's where things start to get really interesting. The article dives into specific strategies for using SEO to build brand awareness. It all starts with comprehensive keyword research. What's the Beam Up Digital approach to keyword research?
Well, for us, keyword research is about more than just finding popular search terms. It's about understanding the intent behind those searches. What are people really looking for when they type in a particular phrase? What problems are they trying to solve? What questions are they asking?
Because if you can answer those questions with your content, you're not just getting clicks, you're building trust
Exactly.
and establishing yourself as a go-to resource.
Exactly. And this is where tools like Google Keyword Planner, RFs, and SEMrush come in handy. They
Right.
help us uncover relevant keywords and analyze things like search volume and competition. But the real magic happens when we combine that data with our understanding of the target audience and their needs.
So we've got our keywords, we understand the search intent. What's next? The article talks about on-page optimization. What does that mean in the context of building brand awareness?
Think of it like this. You've got this amazing story to tell about your brand, but you need to make sure Google and your audience can understand it clearly. That's where on-page optimization comes in. It's about crafting those elements that signal what your content is all about. Things like title tags, meta descriptions, headings, even your URLs. It's about making your website easy for both search engine and humans to understand.
So it's not just about ticking boxes for Google. It's about creating a user-friendly experience that reflects your brand personality.
Exactly. And the article actually goes a step further and highlights the importance of product page optimization, which is super crucial for e-commerce businesses. Think about it. Those product titles, descriptions, and images all contribute to a customer's first impression of your brand and products. We even have some specific tips in the article about how to optimize those elements for both search engines and conversions.
Okay, so we've got our keywords, we've optimized our pages, but what about the content itself? The article stresses the importance of both quality and readability right.
Right. We can't just slap any old content on the page. If we're serious about building brand awareness, we need to create content that's engaging, informative, and well-written. We've found that long-form content like in-depth articles or blog posts works really well for showcasing expertise and building authority.
Long-form content gives you the space to really dive deep into a topic, which is especially valuable if you're trying to position your brand as a thought leader. But even the most brilliant content can fall flat if it's not easy to read.
Absolutely. No one wants to wade through a wall of text. We need to make our content visually appealing and easy to digest. Short paragraphs, clear headings, bullet points, maybe even some images or graphics. All of these things contribute to readability.
And it all goes back to creating a positive user experience that reflects well on your brand. Speaking of which, let's talk about backlinks. Why are they so important for brand exposure?
Backlinks are like those little gold stars you get for good behavior, except in the world of SEO, they're given out by other websites. When a reputable site links to your content, it's like they're vouching for your credibility and expertise. Search engines see those backlinks as votes of confidence, which can boost your rankings.
And those rankings can directly impact your brand visibility and awareness, right? So how do we go about getting these valuable backlinks? The article mentions a few tactics.
One approach is guest blogging, which is basically writing an article for another website in your industry. It's a great way to reach a new audience and build relationships with other thought leaders.
And of course, you get that valuable backlink to your own site in exchange for providing great content. Win-win. But I imagine the quality of those links matters, right?
Absolutely. A link from a spammy or irrelevant website won't do you any favors. You want backlinks from authoritative sites that are relevant to your niche. It's about building those authentic connections that boost your credibility in the eyes of both search engines and potential customers.
So guest blogging is one strategy. What are some other ways to earn those coveted backlinks?
Well, creating shareable content is a big one. Think infographics, videos, quizzes, anything that people are naturally inclined to share on social media or link to from their own websites.
It's about going beyond just blog posts and creating content that's visually engaging and highly valuable to your target audience.
Exactly. The more shareable your content, the more backlinks you're likely to earn naturally.
And the article briefly mentions influencer outreach. Can you explain how that works?
Influencer outreach is all about connecting with those individuals who have a strong following and influence in your industry. Think bloggers, journalists, social media personalities, the people your target audience trusts and listens to.
So you can send them a sample of your product, invite them to an event, or simply reach out and let them know about your awesome content.
Exactly. If they like what they see, they might share your content with their followers, which can lead to those valuable backlinks and even greater brand awareness.
This is all starting to paint a really clear picture of how a strategic approach to SEO can significantly impact a brand's online presence. But we've only scratched the surface. There's a whole other layer to this. Technical SEO. And that's where things can get a little, shall we say, geeky.
Yeah, this is where I get to put on my tech hat. But don't worry, we'll keep it easy to understand. It's all about making sure your website is technically sound and optimized for search engines, which is a huge part of building a strong online presence.
Let's dive into those technical details in the next part of our deep dive. Stay tuned.
All right, so let's jump back into this technical side of SEO.
Okay.
The stuff that happens behind the scenes but has a huge impact on your brand's visibility.
I'm ready to get geeky.
Yeah.
The article mentions starting with a technical SEO audit.
Right.
What exactly does that involve? It sounds a bit like taking your website to the doctor for a checkup.
Yeah, it's a pretty good analogy. A technical SEO audit is like a comprehensive health check for your website.
Mhm.
We're looking for anything that might be hindering its performance in search engines,
Yeah.
broken links, slow loading times, confusing navigation,
Yeah.
even issues with how your website is structured.
So it's about making sure all the nuts and bolts are tightened, so to speak.
Right.
But why is this so important for brand awareness?
Well, think about it. If your website is slow or clunky or hard to navigate, people are going to bounce.
Right.
And that sends a negative signal to search engines.
Oh,
Google wants to recommend websites that provide a great user experience.
Sure.
A technically sound website shows them you care about your visitors.
It's like the difference between walking into a well-organized store and a cluttered, chaotic one.
Right.
You're more likely to stick around and browse in the store that feels inviting and easy to navigate.
Exactly. And just like you'd regularly clean and organize a physical store, a technical SEO audit helps you identify and fix any issues that might be cluttering up your website
Yeah.
and hindering its performance.
Right.
It's an ongoing process of website maintenance that keeps things running smoothly.
So we've conducted our audit and cleaned up any technical issues. What's next on the technical SEO checklist? The article mentions mobile friendliness.
Right.
Why is that so crucial in today's digital landscape?
I mean, it's simple. More and more people are browsing the web on their smartphones and tablets.
Yeah.
If your website isn't designed to adapt to those smaller screens, you're alienating a huge chunk of your potential audience.
And a frustrated user isn't exactly going to have a positive impression of your brand, are they?
Not at all. Plus, Google knows that people value mobile-friendly experiences.
Right.
They actually penalize websites that aren't mobile responsive in their search results.
Wow.
So it's not just about user experience.
Yeah.
It's about making sure your website is visible in the first place.
It's almost like having two storefronts,
Right.
one for desktop users and one for mobile users.
Yep.
You want to make sure both are equally inviting and easy to navigate.
That's a great way to put it. Now let's talk about another important aspect of technical SEO. Page speed.
Okay, so why should we care about how quickly our website loads? Isn't that just a technical detail?
It might seem like a minor detail, but page speed has a big impact on user experience.
Sure.
Think about it. Have you ever clicked on a link and then waited for the page to load? What did you do?
I'll admit I've been known to hit that back button if a page takes too long.
Right.
I'm impatient like that.
And you're not alone. Most people will abandon a website if it doesn't load within a few seconds.
Yeah.
Slow loading times lead to higher bounce rates, which signal to Google that your website isn't providing a good experience.
So if we want to keep people engaged and make a positive impression, we need to make sure our website loads quickly.
Yep.
What are some things we can do to improve page speed?
There are a bunch of tactics, some
Yeah.
more technical than others.
Yeah.
Optimizing image sizes, using a content delivery network,
Okay.
or CDN,
Right
to
on.
distribute content more efficiently.
Yeah.
And minimizing code are just a few examples.
It sounds like there's a lot that goes into creating a smooth, seamless user experience. No wonder technical SEO is so important.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about something that always makes my head spin a little. Structured data.
Okay.
The article mentions this as a technical SEO best practice.
Yes.
Can you break it down for us non-techie folks?
Structured data is basically a way of speaking Google's language.
Okay.
It's about adding code to your website that helps search engines understand the content on your pages more clearly.
So it's like adding labels to the different parts of your website so Google knows exactly what each element is about.
Exactly. It's like giving Google a behind-the-scenes tour of your website, pointing out all the important details.
Uh-huh.
Let's say you have a product page.
Okay.
With structured data, you can tell Google things like the product's name, price reviews, even availability.
And why is that so important? What's the benefit for my brand?
Think about those rich snippets you sometimes see in Google search results.
Oh, yeah?
Those little boxes that show star ratings, prices, or even recipe ingredients.
Right.
That's structured data in action.
So structured data helps my website stand out in search results
Yes.
and provides more information to potential customers right off the bat.
Exactly. It can increase your click-through rates and improve your overall visibility.
Yeah.
And that's a big win for brand awareness.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of technical ground here. Audits, mobile friendliness, page speed, and even the mysteries of structured data.
You did.
I'm starting to see how all of these technical elements can play a role in shaping how people perceive a brand online.
It all comes down to creating a website that's not only informative and engaging, but also technically sound and easy to use.
Right.
When you combine great content with the seamless user experience, that's when the magic happens.
I love that. But there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to address.
Uh-oh.
How do we know if all of our SEO efforts are actually paying off? How do we measure the success of our strategy, especially in terms of building brand awareness?
That's a great question, and it's something we dive into in the final part of our deep dive. Stay tuned as we explore the metrics that matter and how to track your progress.
Okay, so we've explored all the ins and outs of using SEO to build brand awareness, from keyword research to the nitty-gritty of technical optimization. But how do we actually know if all this effort is moving the needle? How do we measure success beyond just feeling good about our website?
Yeah, that's where the data comes in. It's not enough to just hope our SEO is working. We need concrete evidence, and thankfully there are a bunch of metrics we can track to see if we're making progress.
Let's start with the most obvious one, website traffic. If more people are finding our website, that's a good sign, right?
Definitely. Increased traffic is often the first indicator that your SEO efforts are gaining traction. Tools like Google Analytics can tell us not just how many people are visiting, but where they're coming from, what pages they're landing on, and how long they're sticking around.
So it's not just about raw numbers, it's about understanding user behavior. Are people actually engaging with our content, or are they bouncing right off?
Exactly. We want to see people clicking through to different pages, spending time reading our articles, and ideally taking actions like signing up for our email list or downloading a resource. Those are signs that we're not just attracting visitors, but actually capturing their interest.
And speaking of attracting visitors,
Yeah.
we've talked a lot about search engine rankings. How important is it to actually track where we stand on those Google results pages?
Oh, tracking rankings is crucial. It tells us if our efforts to optimize for specific keywords are actually working. We want to see our website climbing those rankings, ideally landing on that coveted first page of results.
Because let's be honest, how often do we venture beyond that first page when we're searching for something online?
Not very often. Being on that first page, especially within those top few spots, is like having prime real estate in the digital world. It significantly increases the chances of people clicking through to your website.
And that increased visibility translates to more brand exposure and potential customers. Okay, so we're tracking traffic and rankings. What about social media? The article mentions that as a metric for measuring SEO success, which seems a bit counterintuitive.
Yeah, it might seem like an odd fit, but social media plays a surprisingly important role in amplifying your SEO efforts. While social signals aren't a direct ranking factor, they can definitely contribute to your overall online visibility and brand awareness.
So if our content is being shared and discussed on social media, that can lead to more backlinks, which, as we've learned, are like gold stars for SEO.
Exactly. It's all interconnected. A strong SEO strategy can help fuel your social media presence and vice versa. It's about creating a synergistic effect across all your digital
It's
channels.
like a positive feedback loop where success in one area boosts the others. Okay, last but definitely not least, the article talks about conversion rates.
Ah, yes. This is where the rubber meets the road. All the traffic and rankings in the world don't mean much if they're not translating into tangible business results.
So it's not enough to just get people to our website.
Right.
We need them to take action. Whether it's signing up for a newsletter, downloading a resource, or making a purchase, we need to track those conversions.
Exactly. Conversion rate is a key indicator of whether your SEO strategy is actually achieving its goals. It tells us if we're effectively guiding visitors through the sales funnel and turning them into loyal customers.
This has been a really eye-opening deep dive into the world of SEO and brand awareness. What stands out to you most from all of this?
Hmm. I think the biggest takeaway for me is that SEO is so much more than just a technical checklist. It's a strategic approach to building a strong online presence that resonates with your target audience and drives meaningful results for your business.
Totally. And if you're looking to boost your brand awareness and take your online presence to the next level, Beam Up Digital might be able to help.
Yeah, we can. We specialize in creating engaging content from investor relations websites to corporate presentations and high-impact videos.
Contact us at hello@beamup.digital. We'd love to chat.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive